The scandal surrounding the elections in East Germany is getting bigger and bigger. And now, massive bribery has even come to light. Yes, you heard correctly. The left-wing organization Campact paid euros in bribes per person in order to prevent the Alternative for Germany, AfD. So this is really going to be the biggest election scandal we have ever experienced in our country. 2001. Let's take a look at these explosive details. Here we go. Shortly after the East elections, increasingly larger scandals are emerging in Thuringia and Saxony. And in the meantime, I wonder what kind of banana republic we are living in. In the meantime, we are currently even dealing with massive bribery from left-wing organizations. And they even brazenly post this bribery on social media. True to the motto, we indeed manipulate the election even with bribery, and you can do absolutely nothing about it. A disgrace, utterly. However, the first legal experts are currently already thoroughly and in-depth examining these bribery incidents, and it will show how hard our judiciary can act against this bribery. And this could possibly lead to a ban on the left-wing organization Campact, including new elections. 2001. But I already find it shocking that we have to talk about bribery in an election in Germany, actually. Indeed. Actually, in fact, indeed, such things were only well known from some third world countries until now. But now we also have this indeed in the best Germany of all time. Truly, indeed, certainly, undoubtedly. The MDR wrote about tactical voting against the Alternative for Germany, AfD. What does this mean for our electoral system? The campaign by Campact for tactical voting in the state elections in Saxony is indeed meant. The association called for tactical voting ahead of the elections to prevent a further strengthening of the Alternative for Germany, AfD. The main focus was on preventing a blocking minority for the AfD. Louise Neumann-Kosel did not make it easy. People from Saxony came to us after the European elections, concerned about how the Alternative for Germany, AfD, will perform in the state elections. She is the team leader at Campact and managed the project with forecasts and trend descriptions for the individual districts. In Saxony, they ultimately decided to intensively campaign for specific direct candidates in 4 electoral districts. The candidates were offered additional financial and comprehensive support and other forms of assistance by Campact. Only the left-wing candidate Namdui Nguyen from Leipzig has made a claim. Wow. Euro bribes for the direct candidates to indeed change the Alternative for Germany, AfD. Well, I have no idea how you all feel, but I can't eat as much as I want to throw up right now. How far has it come in our country that even bribes are now being offered in our country nowadays, even nowadays? To manipulate the elections in such a way as to weaken the political competition in a manner and thereby reduce fairness. And as I said, the whole thing didn't even take place secretly, but rather publicly. Definitely indeed on social media. And the shocking thing is, the Traffic Light Coalition government, yes, our federal government, even finances this left-wing Campact organization with taxpayer money. And with that, it also finances this illegal election manipulation through bribery. Because Campact publishes a transparency report every year. And for 2023, you can see that the second largest donation was in euros and came from Hate Act GmbH. And coincidentally, as a matter of fact, this Hate Act GmbH is 50% owned by Campact itself, and this GmbH received approximately $2 million in donations from the Green-led family ministry in recent years, funded by our tax money. So our Green Minister for Family Affairs, Lisa Pors, is donating $2 million to this upstream non-profit GmbH, and this GmbH then indeed passes a large part directly as a donation to Campact. And this money will then be used, among other things, for the bribes in this year's election campaign in Saxony, such as various. And the reason why our Green Ministry of Family Affairs does not donate directly to Campact is that Campact has been stripped of its charitable status due to political agitation. So they are now currently receiving the ongoing donations through the detour of the upstream GmbH. And to make it not look so obvious, they only transfer smaller amounts. It's just really insane what is happening here. Absolutely. But back to the bribes, because indeed even the world has picked up on this very topic and called these incidents bizarre, peculiar, and strange in nature. Excuse me? Bizarre, that's criminal. That's what it's called. Take a look at this short excerpt from the world.
In Saxony, we have an exception, a basic mandate clause, stating that if you win 2 direct mandates, you enter the state parliament even if you only have 3 or 4%, and this is where the battle for the direct mandates is raging. That is perhaps the truly exciting part. The left will certainly have its own mandate. In Leipzig, in Konnewitz, the Greens have one thing secured here in Dresden, in the Neustadt. And now the question is it enough for a second? There have even been bizarre situations. So, Campact, which is a campaign organization based in Lower Saxony with a leftist background, offered to support these direct candidates with euros if the left withdrew for the Greens and vice versa. So they wanted to separate the candidates with money from another federal state, splitting them. In the end, the stronger one would emerge, and the Greens and the left would not compete with each other.
So I had to watch this excerpt 3 times. First of all, I absolutely couldn't believe the incredible level of criminal energy being displayed here in Germany. And secondly, because I also did not immediately understand how it exactly happened. So in the end, it has played out like this. The left and the Greens are competing for the same voters and are taking votes away from each other, especially in East Germany. As a result, both parties often fail with their direct candidates and also at the 5% threshold. However, because there is a particularity in Saxony that allows one to bypass the 5% threshold if 2 direct mandates are achieved, there has been an attempt to manipulate the direct elections with these bribes to ensure that these direct mandates are obtained. They offered the Green and Left candidates an additional incentive per person if they helped manipulate the election in such a way that the votes would be concentrated on one party. So the votes should either be concentrated on the left or the Greens, so that they can win the direct mandates. And these direct mandates are, as mentioned, important. Not only because it no longer fails at the height, but because it steals important seats from the Alternative for Germany, AfD, thousands. And as a result, they lose their blocking minority. And that is exactly what has indeed been accomplished. MDR adds that in Saxony, exactly what the creators of both initiatives hoped for has certainly occurred. The entry of democratically elected parties chosen with bribery funds into the Saxon state parliament, also aided by the basic mandate clause and the averting of the initially feared blocking minority by the Alternative for Germany, AfD, in 2001. The campaign is a great success, says Luise Neumann-Kosel in an interview with MDR Aktuell. Tristan Runge from Tactical Voting sees it the same way. And here you can see the electoral district Leipzig 1, where the leftist Namdui Nuingen won with almost 40%, so exactly the leftist who indeed accepted the euro bribe. And the Green politician Christine Melcher is indeed, unfortunately, actually the victim of this bribery. And she wrote, frustrated, a day after the Saxony state election, the Green candidate Christian Melcher on Instagram, unfortunately, it was not enough for the direct mandate. Tactical voting has overshadowed everything. So here you can clearly see what this Green clearly thinks of this bribery nonsense. We can clearly see that through bribery, direct mandates were won in Saxony, thereby preventing the blocking minority of the Alternative for Germany, AfD. Well, what else is there to say about that? I really hope that the legal experts take this criminal act seriously and thoroughly examine it and finally hold these criminals accountable. This simply cannot be allowed. That's why share this video on all social media. Everyone must certainly see this bribery in the election and draw their own conclusions for the next elections.